today's video, I'm showing some art supplies I got recently for very good prices. I decided after a while that I did really want to get this travel set. I have since replaced the brushes in here with different travel brushes because I found these were really good specifically for watercolors. Seeing as they're really good for watercolors only, and I like to travel also with gouache, I decided to replace it for brushes that I found good with both watercolor and gouache. This set is the Himi 50 set that came with this gray palette. It was a really good deal, and I got an additional coupon for another $11 off to get the best price I've seen it for. This is a newer, more recent set. The 50 set has the most gouache of any set, and the price was quite fantastic, and I'm glad I got it. There are some colors in here that aren't in the 56 set, and I also get some of them having 60 milliliters and some having 30. Most of the colors in here are incredibly useful. And apparently this set is based on their sales records in Asia of the ones that the refills sell the most of. And they decided the absolute top sellers, the 14 top sellers of all, would get 60 milliliters. I'm surprised by a couple of the colors making it into the top, and I would prefer some other colors than the ones that are here. There's a color called Yellow Teeth, and there's a Teeth Yellow Gray in this set. Interesting English translation choices. That I would prefer to get the yellow teeth that is from the 56 set instead of, say, the olive green 60 milliliters. But other than that, most of these are incredibly good colors to get 60 milliliters of, and I agree with almost every choice for what the 50 set includes. They're incredibly useful colors for mixing other colors and directly. I also absolutely love all of the new colors that are in this set. As you can see, I labeled all of the tubs, and some of them have empty full pans I'm placing on top. These are the colors I'm actually going to open and put in pans. I decided not to open all the lids until after I got everything put in my final order. After opening those other two, I realized it would be better to not let them dry out. As you can see, I changed the order of colors. If you do this, I really advise you put labels directly on the tubs. As you saw earlier, I mixed up the tubs. You really need to mix up the tubs completely when you get them, and I added isopropyl to prevent molding. I also scrape off as much of the gouache as possible off of the lid. The isopropyl alcohol prevents molding. I have had molding issues in the past, but since I mix in isopropyl initially and then spray some around once a week, at least, sometimes I spray less often than that, but I at least open the big palette once a week, I've had no molding issues. These new colors are all extremely useful. They're good for mixing other colors and good directly. I found I love all of these new colors that I didn't have before. And for the turquoise blue and the moon gray, I wish I had 60 milliliters of them. Absolutely gorgeous and fantastic as a base for mixing other colors. I just adore. Every single color in here is very useful to me, but like I said, the new colors that you're witnessing here are the ones that are the most useful of all. While I'm mixing things up, I thought I'd share a couple custom mixes you can do using the 50 set. I achieved a perfect mud color with coffee, earth yellow, and burnt umber with a touch of white. This useful next mix I'm going to share with you is pale golden wood with a white base, earth yellow, medium yellow, a touch of burnt umber, a decent amount of nude, and a decent amount of the purple rose as well. For a color a lot of people might find very useful as a base, neon red. This is peach blossom plus medium yellow. A bright, beautiful gold color I call golden joy. Medium yellow, orange, earth yellow, and ochre. Princess gray. It's a wonderful gray and a good rock color. Light princess and moon gray. A good magenta mix. Use a base of purple rose. Add rose, deep red, and violet. Using a base of acid blue, adding ultramarine and a bit of cobalt blue, you can create a very good neutral blue mix. Vibrant coral pink, light princess, peach blossom, pink rose, salmon pink, and Naples yellow. If it doesn't look quite vibrant or pink enough, add more pink rose. In order to get the next color, vibrant coral gray, take the previous mixture and add white and pearl white until it looks like a pinkish, slightly vibrant gray color, which I find very useful. Here you can see I'm taking out some of the paint onto a palette. I used a previously made measuring tool, which is also a viewfinder, so I can look at different views of things through it, and a Magic the Gathering card is good for ASO size, to trace out onto this Dollarama watercolor paper. I just wanted to try out this paper a bit more. It has a very odd texture, but I think it's actually really interesting for abstract paintings. As I'm trying to try out these colors here, just to test them out, and I thought they made interesting and somewhat relaxing color palettes, I thought I'd do a bunch of quick abstracted paintings while using these new brushes. I'm focusing on the largest flat wash brush, and noticing that these paint brushes at this time, though I've used them much since then, are actually built more for watercolors than gouache, as they have very soft, more flexible bristles that imitate real hair, which I only prefer to use sometimes, but I'm glad I have the option moving forward. I'll ask you to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you're really enjoying my content. Here I'm continuing with the abstract painting, continuing to try the brushes and the new colors of paint out. I decided to use a little bit of palette knife just to encourage the abstract nature of the art. Some of these smaller compositions over here, I did some fairly soft gradients with the large 1-inch brush. I think the 1-inch brush is good for watered down, flat washes, and for painting with, but as I discovered over time, I prefer these brushes more for paled down and watercolor techniques than for thicker gouache, but they are marketed as watercolor, not gouache brushes. They do add a lot to my collection, so I'm very happy I got them, although I have more recently swapped out all those brushes for different brushes in my travel kit because I paint with gouache and watercolor when I travel. Here I'm working on the swatches of the new colors, and I decided to test out some of the swatches for the new colors here, but to not do boring shapes. So I decided to do a variety of different, somewhat simple, but a little more creative shapes. Here it is when it's finished. Here's some of the finished images. Next, I'm going to work on a nice little moth. Sometimes it's really fun just to paint moths. The reason why I chose a moth is because some of the colors of these new colors that were added with the 50 set here suit the colors of a moth or are easily mixed to become moth colors. In order to get this properly though, I did have to add in a bright titanium white in with the colors that came in here, although the pearl white was still helpful. In general though, I used only the colors that were here, except for, as I said, the brightest titanium white, but every single set does come with titanium white. Overall, I'm happy with this little Luna Moth ASO, and I hope you also enjoyed this video. Of course, give me suggestions in the comment section below, as always. Once again, that's all for this video. If you like my videos, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell to all notifications so you will know when a new video comes up. I aim for new videos every Wednesday, but sometimes life happens and things are delayed. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you with another one very soon.